Hi, my name is Dave Forrest of Full 52 Productions, a magic company that's been going for over 10 years now, which is scary when I say it like that. I want to talk to you about a new project that I'm really excited about, and I'm hoping it's going to get funded on Kickstarter because I think it's custom made for this type of platform in terms of getting the thing actually made. A little bit of history. So a number of years ago, I produced one of my favourite products that we've ever produced at Full 52, and it was called Cubism. And what Cubism was a chop cup. It was specifically manufactured as a dice cup. And here it is. They're completely sold out now, have been for a number of years. This was how it looked, and it was in here. It was a dice cup and various different dice, different sizes of loads, little tiny dice, big ones, and it had magnetic dice, obviously, because that's how a chop cup works. One of the features of the magnetic dice was the auto flip, which we'll talk about later, which is super cool, and one of the reasons a lot of magicians liked it. Anyway, this done very well. We sold a lot of them over and over again. We got reorders, but here's the truth is, it wasn't exactly how I always envisaged the product. I always had a grander idea in mind, and what I really wanted to do was to make a 3-cup set. So it's like cups and balls, where one of them was chopped and it would come with various different loads. To that end, I later released the Cubism expansion pack, which sort of fulfilled the brief, I suppose, and sort of made it the product that I had in mind, kinda, but not quite, because now you had the full. If you purchased both the expansion set and the original Cubism, you pretty much had what I always envisaged, except it wouldn't have looked like this. It wouldn't have been 2 products, which brings me on to this Kickstarter campaign, where I'm hoping to get funded a product that is much more in keeping with my original sort of vision of how I would have liked to have seen it, and that is this Cubism Maestro, which I will have a little close up in a moment, but it's gorgeous, as a Cockney might say. The problem is, as is always the case with small businesses, is funding. To make this product, all right, would be cost prohibitive both for me and for you, just to go in and put the money in and try and produce this. Too much risk. I'd have to rely too much on wholesale, which would have to push the end user price up. It wouldn't be feasible. And then I discovered crowdfunding and Kickstarter in particular, and I thought, well, there was enough magicians interested in this. We sold a lot of these, so maybe if we go direct to the end user and we skip the whole middleman process and we get the money up front, then everybody can get, and this is basically how it's working out, the original Cubism set for pretty much the same money. And I don't, I think it is the same money, roughly. It's basically the same price. You now get you can have the full Cubism Maestro set in its lovely box with all the loads and everything. So it's really quite remarkable if I'm able to get it funded and everybody wins, I hope. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a close-up look now at the Cubism Maestro set and give you a better idea of the type of product that I'm hoping to deliver here, okay? So let's take a closer look at Cubism Maestro. Here it is. This is Cubism Maestro. Lovely looking sort of display box here. I'll show you on all sides. There's a little bit of embossing here. I don't know if you can see that. It's just the Full 52 logo and web address. It's all very subtle. You won't see that, of course. It'll be sat this way on your shelf. And here it says Cubism Maestro. Now, that's in silver on the black, which looks great, and I'm pretty sure that the lights here reflecting off it are not doing it justice. But also that's embossed there. I don't know if you can tell. It's not just printed on, it's sort of embossed in there, so it has texture that you can feel, and it looks rather spiffing. And very much like the colour scheme of the original Cubism set, if we open it up, we find this sort of rather stunning red interior, which perfectly matches, of course, the red interior of the cups. And inside we find, of course, your 2 regular cups up here. And here is your chop cup. And see, this one's got a little label on it. It's a prototype. It's just so I know what's what. And of course, I'm going to try and get these out now and start showing you. If anyone familiar with the original set will tell you these dice are really high quality. I didn't think there was such a thing as low quality dice until I started to put the Cubism set together back in the day. But there really is, and these are made in the UK. They are perfectly weighted, and they're exact replicas. In other words, it's not, you know, that on every dimension that is one of them, but just bigger. I know that probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but trust me when I say that you can get big dice and it doesn't look quite like the smaller ones, if you know what I mean. But here we have exact replicas. So, for example, if you know, at any point this one grows into this one under a cup or something, it really looks great because it's an exact, you know, it's an exact match. In terms of the dimensions and the corners and the angles and everything, and the material, they're all made of the same good heavyweight material. So that is the dice, and of course the chop cup, the most famous thing, and certainly the thing that let me get these away. The thing that most magicians loved about the original, myself included, was this auto flip function. So in here I've placed that's your magnetic dice. And here is your chop cup, and it can be handled. Normally you can shake and turn out the dice and stuff, but at any point you like, you can pretend to take the dice out, of course, put the cup down, the dice goes away, and it appears under the cup. And that's because, unlike normal chop cup here, we're not dealing with a shim. It's not shim in here, it's not like a steel dice and a magnet in the cup. In this case, what we've got is, and it took a long time to get it worked out, but what we've got is a magnet actually in here, and it's not a ball like a sphere, it's a rod, and that rod has a polarity, as does this one in here. And the way it's placed inside the magnet, and it's not easily done, but they're great. They look absolutely perfect when they're finished. Because of the way it's done, it will automatically, it won't just stick to the bottom, it'll stick with one specific number facing up the way. In this case, it's a 6. So look, if I drop, here's the dice, I'll shake it or whatever in the cup, and now the magnet's done its thing. And if when you look in here, you're going to see the number 6, guaranteed every time. I wonder if you can just make it out on the camera there. Let me see. Yep, there you go, number 6. And you see that no matter what you do, you shake it up, and you can treat it like a normal cup, and then, sure enough, when it's stopped in place, you'll know it's number 6. So what does that mean? Well, probably not a lot at the moment, but there are a lot of different things you can do with that little feature that are above and beyond the normal use. And in actual fact, I did use the little number thing in my original Cubism routine, which, by the way, you can download the whole video for the original Cubism set for free at my website. You don't have to buy it. You never did, incidentally. When I released Cubism, I just gave the instructional video away for free because I was confident that once you've seen the props, you know, you would realise that the video is pretty useless if you don't have the props. And also, I wanted people to see how good it looked, and that really worked. And people really loved the fact that they could do that try before they buy type thing. Now, while you can't buy the original set anymore, you can still download that video should you want to check it out, because it's of some interest, I'm sure, and you'll get to see how this all began and you know, and see where we've got up to with this Cubism Maestro set. So that is the new Cubism Maestro set, a lovely display box with 3 cups and a full set of loads and auto flip dice, of course. But we've got one further thing that I'm really delighted about, because I wanted to do this back in the day as well and couldn't, because financially it just wouldn't have made sense. And that's because it's also available in 2 colours. Yay, look at this one. This is the second set, which is the brown, and I gotta say, I'm a big fan of this combo. This is the brown, and it's a little bit more understated. Cubism Maestro here is embossed in black, okay, on the brown one. Same thing all the way around. There's a little logo and stuff there. Again, Cubism Maestro, and then of course just a sort of 2-tone combo colour thing here. Inside is this lovely green, sort of traditional green and brown. And again, here is your bag of dice, chop cup, 2 regular cups, and that is Cubism Maestro, the brown version, so you can choose your preferred colour, or by all means pledge for one of each. Why not? Look, this has been a brief introductory video because I wanted to get the Kickstarter campaign launched. There'll be some photographs and stuff that you can have a better look at, and I'll get some more video up soon of the actual props, maybe some footage of them in action, stuff like that. It's my hope. I hope this gives you a rough idea of the type of product I'm trying to deliver, and at a price that I think, given the price of this type of product in the magic market, I'm sure you'll agree that for that level of quality and just how cool it looks and what you actually receive, I think it's a steal, and it's my hope that you'll all see that as well, and pledge to receive a set, because everything's in place. I just need the money now to get the manufacturing run underway. So I think it's custom made for Kickstarter. I hope you do too. Please stay tuned for more videos and photographs and updates and so on. Thank you for watching. I'm Dave Forrest, and I'll see you again soon.